Alright, hey everybody, how's it going? So I'm post-harvest. I've got everything in there on the line. Those are some veggie starts I got going. We've had a pretty cold spring, so we had stuff in the ground for a couple weeks this time last year. But so it goes. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of kind of what I do at this point in time, like in between. Normally I want to have plants in right away. Like I'm already kind of getting the weird feeling like I've got my beds just kind of sitting here idle. But I'm really gonna work on growing a nice big green layer. So I've put a bunch of cover crop seed and soon to be companion plant seed down to create as big and lush a carpet of green as I can, because I've got a pretty big woodlouse population. And short of getting a hedgehog, like Mr. Young suggested, which I think is a pretty good idea, but I think I just want to create more green here for them to munch on for when it dies off, and that way, you know, hopefully that we won't have them walking up the plants and nibbling on leaves at all that we're gonna, you know, tear away those lipids and leave room for pathogens and like PM and whatnot. So what I normally would be doing was just be putting plants in and getting ready to go, like hitting it with a compost tea, and then just plugging plants in and turning and burning. But this time we're gonna take a step back. Let's see if we can look in. So you can see I've got a bunch of new cover crop getting ready to pop. The worms and everything are very happy in here right now. I know this really bothers some people to see me tearing up the soil like that, but I really don't care. I mean, I care that I'm bothering somebody. I don't care what I'm doing to the soil. So anyway, so what I'm doing now is a really good time to pull out the blue mat drippers. Like there's the dripper, and make sure that the lines are all in good. They don't need any fixing or anything, and laying it back on top, because they kind of work their way down to the soil line, so I just kind of toss it. So this is a really good time to get reacquainted with your, you know, drip system and your soil too, because it's under all this mulch and you're not going in there and like checking it all the time. So it's a good time to just kind of look and see what's happening, see what's going on in there. And once again, like I said, you should really be able to see worms move in anytime you move the soil, or in any handful of soil you should have worm. You know, and that's, you know, indicative of some pretty healthy active soil. I mean, I can feel them writhing around underneath. There we go. So we really want to take the time right now to, you know, just get reacquainted with your soil after the last run. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'll just go down the line. There's 4 of these. Five of these in every 4x4, right? So this is a 4x8. On the other side, there's 5 more, all going to the center. So I'm kind of covering some old material here, but those of you that won't necessarily want to go back, that's kind of how it works. And there's I can turn this on or off to create more of a water flow if I wanted. And that's what I'll do to check to make sure the drippers are working. I'll turn the water on kind of high, and check that they're all dripping at the same rate, even though this one's furthest away. It's going to be dripping at the same rate, except this isn't, because it's all clogged. So that's why we check it, because this one got plugged up with debris, and I'll just have to kind of open it up a little bit, let the water clear the debris out, and then it'll catch up. So that's the reason why we're doing this I guess maintenance, right? Anything with moving parts is going to require some maintenance. So that's what's going on here. For those of you that don't know, this is what I do, is I just chop the plant off here. And then by the end of the next cycle, this will be almost nearly consumed. Once again, when you move the straw back, you should really be seeing lots of activity. Here you can see lots of this new cover crop coming up, and you can tell that the worms have really gone to work and created the top is basically earthworm castings, what used to be Malibu compost. I mean, it's just the same consistency. It's got that granular texture, very rich. So, you know, this is the proof that over time the beds keep getting better, provided you have a nice living food soil web in place, and you're you know, doing you only have to do the minimal effort. I'm kind of proof to that. We're not doing a bunch of crazy teas. If you're doing that, that's fine. I'm being an extreme minimalist to the point to prove a point that what's happening in the soil is adequate. And we really need to separate ourselves and our ego from that process, because that's happening with or without us. You know, as long we're just facilitating this process that's been already mapped out and laid out for us. We just have to make sure we're providing the right environment and the right ingredients, and fucking magic happens. Everything that's come out of these beds has been the most trike covered material, the most beautiful smelling and tasting material I've grown in the 20 years I've been growing. And it's not because of me, it's because of this process. And taking credit for it is ridiculous. I think that's kind of the problem in the industry. When people say, "Oh, really good job," you know, it's nice. You want to be polite and say thank you. You don't want to be like, "Fuck you, I didn't do it." But really, I didn't do it. I really didn't do it. I just set plants in here, right? And set the parameters of the automation. So, while it's nice to get accolades and people's respect, but it's really the respect needs to go to the process that's already been laid out. So I know I'm sounding a little, I don't know. Anyway, that's really my honest feelings and thoughts. So here we are. The I told you so's I told you so me. Trellises are back up, and they're staying up. Although I will say that harvesting was a lot easier without the trellises. It was really nice to be able to just go in, clip a branch, and just walk it out of there without having to weave it in and out of fucking trellis and shit. So, you know, there's really a lot of give and take, and I think having that stability is worth whatever minor, you know, problems or inconveniences that I may have been experiencing before. It was a good experiment, and I definitely learned my lesson. I think we're gonna stay with the trellis indefinitely. So anyway, I hope I didn't ramble too much, and hope you guys get something out of this. Be good, everybody, and stay tuned for more information on the Azure standard updates. Like I said, their court date is on May 22nd, and I'm hoping to hear from them before then. But those of you in the area willing to participate in a direct action, stay tuned. All right, peace, guys.